Okay, mate. Let's have a look here. TRB. TRB is an interesting one. The thing is, when you get these big breakups, dips down, in theory, down into the red 200 moving average, are often very good buys to then try and go higher again. Right? So it is getting down there. It is getting down into it. It is also, if I can find the fib, it is also a bit of a retrace. Well, you can see the dip on that. There's 50% dip down. So we're down in here into the pierce of the 61% here at the moment. It's getting down in there, but any more dip down, I think any dip down is piercing here has to be a decent opportunity. There's always the worry that something like this happens when it just drifts, you get the big candle up and then it drifts. But the thing is, this is a better apex breakout. This was not an apex breakout. The white 100 moving average was above price here. This is a more real apex breakout, and on top of that, Bitcoin is broke out above all-time highs, and on top of that again, this is potentially breakout volume. Breakout volume implies that dips down often get bought back up again to later go higher again. So I do like dips on this. For me, dips on this are bullish until proven otherwise. Pierces of the red 200 probably are fantastic. It's down 8% today. Part of me thinks it might be actually start to good to buy it here. I would prefer it below the red 200, that's the truth. But the market doesn't care what I prefer. This is now piercing below the first major low, so it is getting into an interesting level down here. Like, what if this base was going to break up from here? That would be interesting. You could almost buy this right now with a stop below this 10-minute candle, because this is your 10-minute candle that's trying to move up. This was your low. It's trying to create a bullish engulfing candle to move up here. It is risky, of course, but you could possibly take an entry right there with a very, very tight stop on it. Now, as I mentioned before, I do like it a little bit lower down here, on a failed bounce here and then go lower again, something like that, down in here, and then you get the real move back up, because that would be below the red 200 on the daily, if I drew that correctly. Yeah. So I kind of did draw that correctly, roughly down in there where we're looking at. So that is the question. That is, yeah, I prefer, I'm not going to buy this here. I would prefer one more dip. I could be wrong on that. Sometimes in strong markets you don't dip as much as you think it might dip. But this is getting into interesting levels. Sorry, was I not recording there? No, I don't know what I said. This situation here might be something like what happened here, where you get the dip down into the weekly candle, and then it's a new week before it starts running, and that might be what's happening here, something similar. So you get the dip down, then it bottoms out somewhere, but this next week you actually run again. That I would be open to that happening. I actually think this 10-minute chart is, it's negating. Look at this. It didn't even hold the green candle we talked about earlier, and then it moved down. Now, I don't know if you've seen me talking about that. I don't know where I paused and where I didn't pause. I says, I wouldn't buy that. I would like lower. I would like it to drop down below the red 200 moving average on the daily chart. So here, right, that's where I would prefer it. You can kind of see as well that breakdown would be a measured move down into this green box somewhere, which would be the ideal entry point in my opinion. Sometimes in a strong market you don't get those ideal entry points though. This is already down 8% on the day, 9% on the day almost. So maybe currently, if you're looking to trade this on a new day, or if you're trying to trade this on a day for a day trade, that's what I meant to say, look for a bit of a stop hunt here and a potential move up. As far as the 3 month goes, this looks good, right? This does look like it's setting up to have that bounce and come back up and eventually fill this gap up here, fill this liquidity in the wick. Now, this is kind of rounding out, as we mentioned on ANJ. It's also, you know, this is a semi-decent candle. The ideal situation here would be for something like this to play out. You know, you get that test pump and then you get the continuation afterwards. The ideal way would be something like that happening, and you know, something like this on a new month, dips or buys, and it might bounce a little bit before that, but if it doesn't, you can keep an eye out for this sort of situation. So anyway, mate, yeah, I hope you're well. I'll finish on this yearly. I don't know if we talked about it, but a yearly candle next year, obviously you want to see something like this. You want to see it move up. This is a bad yearly candle at the moment, but that's okay. You can still get these bad yearly candles, and then next year you get that continuation and the bounce to the upside. So it's next year that is the real important time. If you're not in, there'll still be a chance to trade a new yearly candle when you dip to fill the wick, or even better, if it stop hunts the lows. If it stop hunts on a yearly candle, that is likely a load the boat situation for getting that green yearly candle then. Anyway, mate, yeah, I hope you're well. Any more questions, you can let me know. And yeah, let's hope we get this pump. This looks like a decent chart to get a pump actually into next year.